to the Smartalecs. My name is John. Of course, I'm your guest host this week. I'm the smartest of all the Smartalecs. We have a exciting topic this week. We have a distinguished panel. We're going to introduce them right now. On my right-hand side, we got our man. How you doing today, Double A?
I'm alright, bro. How are you? You alright?
Good.
Yeah.
You want to punch it in today?
Excellent, man. That's good.
Yes. Oh, look at that. Look at that. We punched it in, connected. It's a great topic we got, though. And on my left-hand side, I got my young man, the young scholar, the disappointment. Rod, how you doing, buddy?
Why do I gotta be disappointed?
Because you're the young scholar.
I'm alright, John. How you feeling, bro?
All right, man. I'm good. I'm feeling good. You guys ready for our topic this week?
Let's get it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Al looks enthusiastic. You look ready. We're going to talk about the NFL, one of my most favorite, most treasured things. They have instituted a rule. I think we just can coin it the Kaepernick rule, where if you kneel, you get fined. So people are saying that's infringing on the players' freedom of speech. And I want to see what you guys have to, say about that. And then I'm going to give you guys an alternate point of view and let you guys respond. So we'll open up with you, Double A. How you feel? What do you feel about the rule?
I mean, it's just bullshit, man. And then, it's just a way to just shut people up like they always do. And I don't even think it's a way to shut them up. I think it's just them really just saying, fuck y'all to our face for real. Like, man, fuck what you talking about, nigga. Respect this flag over everything. We don't care about black people getting shot in the streets. We don't care about your injustices. All we care about is this fucking piece of cloth that, that was, made by a slave owner. And you got to make sure that you pledge allegiance to this every time you stand up and shit. I mean, it's just fucking stupid. It's ignorant. And, like I said, like you say, it infringes on their constitutional rights. So they shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, Rod.
I do agree. I don't think that I think the rule itself in their defense, they do have the option if they don't want to come out, they can stay in the locker room to avoid a penalty. But I think the whole point of it, I don't even think I personally think it's the president, like, targeting the NFL and the NFL owners, being scared of him for whatever reasons. It might be him wanting a vendetta from back in the day or whatever it might be. I think that's their way of bowing down to him, going over their players' heads, over coaches, as owners making a rule. I think it's fucked up. I don't really agree with it.
But, okay. I definitely understand you guys' point of view. I definitely feel that. But as we sat in, the pre-show meeting and we talked about this, I thought about like an alternate thing. Like, what if you guys were owners, right? And these protests are messing with your bottom line. Now, you're not a player. You are an owner at this point, okay? Everybody feel me? And these protests are messing with your bottom line. You know what I'm saying? Like, your bottom line is, now you guys are legitimate billionaires because you guys are owners. But your main money maker most of the time, your second main money maker is your team. And they're messing with your money. So, with that being said, if you had skin in the game and your skin was money, would you feel a different way about the penalty and the protests?
You got to realize that first and foremost, none of the owners are black. So none of our skin is actually in the game.
No, that's not, see, you're missing my
No,
well, I said what I said.
You're saying if we were the owners.
Right.
And it was messing with our bottom line. Mm-hmm. And what I'm telling you is that, okay, if we were black, because we would have to be white owners, and it would have to be messed with our bottom line, because we couldn't be black owners, because there are no black owners.
Well, if we were black owners, I still think as a black owner, you would get behind your team if they were protesting for social injustice that you yourself, who are also black, has dealt with. So I do understand what you're saying. You would have to be a white. We would have to be white owners.
We can't look at it as a black perspective because there's no black owners out there.
I do.
Only white owners. So therefore,
as a black, answer your question. As a black owner, right?
Right.
And you have a team that's predominant. No, you. I'm asking you. I'm asking you. You're a black owner of the Browns, right? and 90% of your team is black, right?
Right.
And they're protesting for social injustice that's happening in our country that they're experiencing as black men, even though they make these millions of dollars. You mean to tell me you would not stand behind your team?
Are you going to care about just the bottom line?
Or is the bottom line more important?
I didn't say that.
I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
Of course I would support him. But, you know what I'm saying, at the same time.
If he was white,
It's different.
It's a different mentality.
It would be like, if I was a white guy, I probably would do the Jets way. Like the Jets way, I think.
The Jets way was dope.
It's respectable.
They did not vote on it. That owner did not. He did not put in a vote.
So you
and
didn't vote on it, but you didn't back. You also didn't.
Well, him not voting is a no.
Right, him not voting is a no.
It's not like yes or no. It's yes or don't say anything. And if you say nothing, that's a no. So out of all the other owners, he was the only one to not say anything. Everyone else said yes. And then he said if any of his teammates or players decide that they want to break the rule and kneel, he says, of course, I'd rather them stay in the locker room or just stand. But if they decide that they have a reason and they feel that they want to actually take a knee or do anything, because it extends to raising a fist, it extends to locking arms, it extends to anything that is not standing there with your hand on your chest. It's all of that. It's not just, you can't raise your fist. Like the guys who stand and raise their fist, they would be fine. The ones who stand and have their arms crossed together, they would be fine. You take a knee, you'd be fine. So he's saying if they do any of that, they'll pay for it.
If at the place you work, right, at your insurance company, right, there's like at the beginning of every morning, everybody has to stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance, right? And if you don't do it, they'll say write you up, and you know what I'm saying, it could lead to termination. You know what I'm saying? What would you do?
It would be different if I already wasn't. I don't think that it's the same because
it's definitely not the same, man. Because that's you're a
you know what I'm saying. Like there's still a lot of black football players who did stand and had no problem standing. The ones who took a knee had a reason. They felt either personally or things that they felt very strongly about.
I'm just saying.
Me personally,
at your
I
job,
wouldn't give a fuck. Like
at your job,
if we had to stand there, it wouldn't bother me. But if they said you have to sing this shit,
would you be mad if you had to stand there for the Pledge of Allegiance every morning?
Yeah, absolutely. If I had an issue with it, then I had an issue with it, and I just find another fucking job. That's the point. That's the difference. You see what I'm saying? That's what Kaepernick did. That's why Kaepernick is where he's at. Because, shit, he has to find another fucking job.
Right, a lot of these guys, though, they can't find another job.
Like, they can't find another job. It's just about them wanting to sacrifice and take their leap. But see, that's where the disconnect is with our community and our unity and us standing together for a cause. We don't stand together because we do have, you know, you can call them house niggas, whatever you want to call them, but you do have those individuals who feel like, you know, even though they're black, it doesn't bother me. I don't, you know, yeah, they're killing niggas in the streets, but hey, they didn't kill my son. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that type of mentality where if it doesn't touch me, it doesn't bother me. And that's where our disconnect is at. That's why we're not unified like we should be. You know what I'm saying? Because you got those niggas out there that's like, yo, whatever's going down, you got the Kanye Wests in so many words. Like whatever's going down there with them niggas in the 3rd district, like these are different districts, then let that go ahead. But we're up here, we're rich, we're billionaires. We don't give a shit about that.
I think that's a little extreme to say because there is some situations where I'm not gonna protest that. Like the person was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes these free so and so, free this.
Killing a black, innocent black man is never right. Correct. Period. Especially if they're unarmed.
I got you.
I'm
with that. I agree with that.
Okay.
Fully. 100% wholeheartedly. I'm talking about some of the other times people have little mini protests for so-and-so going to jail. Killing an unarmed black man, I'm with that. An unarmed black man, that's unacceptable.
Right, period.
Yes,
any circumstance.
In any circumstance.
Okay, so that's all we're really protesting. In my opinion, that's the biggest thing because that's what happens to us on a daily basis. We were just talking about how, as black men, we can't even drive certain places and we have to stay out of certain places because not because we're hot, just because we're scared.
Or it's acceptable.
We're scared to get pulled over, or you know what I'm saying. We just don't want to even have that. We know we're not going to be breaking any laws. But what?
We know black. There's also not a lot of black people there.
Right, you're black.
So to drive through there,
you're hot. You're hot.
It's why you do it. It's just a question of what you're doing here.
This shit has been going on forever, right? You know know what I'm saying? Everybody, you know what I'm saying, as being 3 black men, we've all been pulled over on some sketchy circumstances. You know what I'm saying? And now, with the world being so small with the internet and Facebook and everybody can go live and shit, the shit is just more in your face. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I'm saying. A lot of the things
now,
we see, we're not seeing the full picture.
Oh,
Where the police are body slamming the guy. They only show you the part where the police body slam the dude. We don't see the part where the police tried to tell him to stop and the guy punched the police. Fought 4 of them, and then it took all 4 of them to restrain him. Like, so.
Well, no, I understand
some of the shit we see, you know what I'm saying?
But
I'm with you, though. Killing an unarmed black man, that's
because
I do think that's what they're kneeling for.
I've seen white cops actually, with a drunk, erratic white guy, actually chase him around. He was swinging at him and everything else, jumped in his car, tried to run him over, all that shit. They never once shot a bullet at him. You know what I'm saying? And they end up, of course, arresting him and cuffing him and everything else. Didn't even look like they really used too much force either, because he was already fucked up. He was high off something. Don't know what he was high off of. But that's what it all started from. And then Donald Trump took that, and instead of him saying, hey, you know what, let's talk about, or let's focus on these black people getting killed. He said,
why are you guys kneeling? Let's talk about this.
Right. Fuck what these niggas kneeling about. Oh, you disrespecting the flag when you kneeling. No, I'm not disrespecting, we're not disrespecting the flag, because once again, he broke it down to why we kneel.
That's what I'm saying. He's missing the point.
Right.
He's missing the point.
As I said.
And it's not that he's missing the point.
Donald Trump is missing the point.
No, he's not missing the point. He doesn't give a shit about the point. He knows what the point is. He's making sure that he doesn't say anything about the point. He could easily be like, you know what, let's, y'all need to stand for the flag, but let's go ahead and talk about these, let's do something about these police killing these black people. That's not what he's saying. He's saying, he's ignoring the black man getting killed by the police and saying, y'all disrespecting the flag. Y'all need to be, get fired from your job, and y'all need to be playing football and shit like that. And that's just too extreme. These motherfuckers went to school, college, and then played in, varsity, junior, all this other shit.
They dedicated their life.
Right, they deserve to be in the motherfucking NFL, and they deserve to have their constitutional rights fucking upheld. Period.
And what I think is fucked up, I've heard some players who aren't, these superstars. And you're on the team, and the team does well, so during the season you get praise and people know who you are, and then off season, when nobody really knows you because you weren't a big name, they still get harassed. You know what I'm saying? They still deal with issues that we as black men deal with, and they get, they're making maybe $1 million in a year, maybe $750,000, so they're not these huge players, but they're doing better than most. And they're still getting harassed for being in neighborhoods. What are you doing in this neighborhood? Oh, I live here. I just bought my first home. You know what I'm saying? Like,
as we stated, that's been happening. But when you talk about Donald Trump, this goes back to, I don't know, several episodes when I explained that Donald Trump, what he's doing is everything that. What's his name did. I'm not going to say it because Jay said I talk about him a lot. But it's everything. It's all of his moves.
Who are you?
Hitler. It's Hitler. It's all of his moves.
Yeah, I remember this.
Like I told you. Like what I told you how he did with gypsies.
We remember this metaphor.
Right. It's the exact, but no, it's not a metaphor. What he did was he used his game plan. And it's just separated the nation. And now everybody like, oh my God, all this shit. And what he did was he tore down everything President Obama did that brought
people together.
Foundation
and stability.
Stability. Like when he had the Iran deal, the nuclear war deal with Iran. Like, look, man, he just came to him like, look, man, y'all niggas is sketchy with nuclear weapons. We can't have y'all making nuclear bombs. And they was like, cool, Obama. We'll sign this shit, and we won't do it. This nigga tear it up. This nigga had the Paris Climate Accord where niggas was like, yo, we gonna try to cut back on carbon emissions and, you know what I'm saying, save the planet. This nigga Donald Trump tore that shit up. You know what I'm saying? The nigga made healthcare in America for everybody. But look, people voted for Trump, right? And then they lost their healthcare. Right?
Yeah.
And then circle back like, what the fuck is going on? Why did Obama take away our health care? You see how that's what I'm saying. That's
Everything, but see, everything that you just said, and this is why a lot of these people are stupid. These white people are, until they take responsibility for their actions.
Uninformed.
With it. Right, they're uninformed. Well,
and
the things that they've done.
Well, willfully, I say willfully uninformed and being stupid are two different things.
Well, no, listen.
Because they know. It's not even uninformed.
It's willfully.
No, it's like this. It's like they
willfully
put like this. It's like
ignorance.
No, it's like a tactful thing, in my opinion.
I wish we could
It's
take
like
a beer break and get another.
it's
beer
like
for everyone.
Trump has never said out of his own mouth, "I'm a racist," but all his actions show that he's a racist. You feel what I'm saying? Right. So it's like your actions speak louder than
when
your
you
words.
back the KKK.
But instead of them saying, instead of them being like if you ask a white person, do you think Trump is racist? They're gonna say no. What? He never said he was racist. What are you talking about? He's not racist. But everything that he's done has been basically against other ethnicities other than his own. You know what I mean?
What you can do is like this.
Only reason his own is getting affected is because they're caught up in the poor class and things of that nature.
Well, like, look, you can say this to people. Do you, like, you can say, do you back the KKK? And, like, 90% of the world will be like, oh, my God, no. I don't back the Ku Klux Klan. But then you'll be like, do you endorse Trump? And, like, 70% of that 90% will be like, yeah. You know,
exactly.
Cool.
So,
but they don't understand that Trump endorses the KKK.
Exactly.
So now you inherently, by endorsing him, you endorse the KKK.
That's when they be like, what? I don't know what? And it's like, bitch, you ain't that stupid.
You're
or
not.
are you that stupid?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't understand that you're it's like a extension.
Like you inherited.
It's
like
right. You're an extension of the team.
Right.
Now all of a sudden, just like what I say, all of a sudden we hate gypsies. Now all of a sudden we hate Jews and gypsies. Now
full circle, huh?
Right. It's the same move, just with Muslims. Right? And Mexicans.
Yeah, I would say
and now Muslims, Mexicans, black people, and poor people. White people like, hold on, we're poor too. He like, yo, collateral damage.
Right.
Collateral
he like,
damage.
it's only a couple of y'all. It's more black poor people.
And they like, wait, they like, hold on,
and
bro.
they're like, wait a minute, not really. Like,
there's and that's
right.
That's
where it's at. That's where it's at.
That's what's going on right now in the world. That's the climate. And now, because of that, everybody's fucked up. Like, they looking at each other sideways instead of just like looking at the true issue.
Getting to the root.
The root
which
of
is
the problem.
Impeaching Trump. And for some reason he's not getting impeached.
Because if you impeach Donald Trump, who becomes president? Mike Pence is like, I don't know. I don't even know who he is.
Right?
But
like, that's scarier to me. For
right.
real.
Like,
the fact that I don't know is scary.
To me, I don't know this nigga.
To me,
at all.
To me,
like, he could just come in and be a robot.
Us. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna press a button. Like,
right? Everybody's dead. Like,
see, I feel like, in my opinion, if we get Trump out of there and Pence was to come in, Pence would be more of a puppet. He would be a puppet. See, right now, Donald's not a puppet.
Exactly, but Donald backed you're forgetting Trump backed himself. So if he does get impeached, somebody who was part of his team would be the one pulling the strings for Pence.
I don't know.
Yeah. And it would come off as nobody would think twice about it. Why? Because he was the vice president to Donald Trump. So you're around a nigga long enough, rubs off on you. You don't realize that somebody's really behind the scenes pulling the strings. It's still
does Mike Pence have any motherfucking political background?
No.
More than
a little
Trump,
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I think
if he has a political background, I say it would be different.
His political background is being like
Trump didn't have no political
but he had the money to back it.
No, I understand that.
So that's half of what you need.
But
Pence hopped onto that.
And
you know what I'm saying?
What I'm saying
if
is,
Trump would have ran against the man, he would have lost.
Yeah.
The only reason he won is because he ran against a woman.
But my only thing
men were like, yo, I don't want no woman in charge of me. Also,
I'm not saying Pence would be 100% better than Trump. But what I am saying is that, like I stated, Pence, if he's already been in politics, if he comes from politics, then there's already he's already in the midst of that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? He's already in the midst of his people. He probably already has people on his side like, yo, we don't fuck with Trump. You know what I'm saying? And he already has other people on the other side like, well, we here because in my opinion,
So
everybody don't
House of Cards shit.
No, like honestly, I don't think the majority of people in the fucking White House fuck with Trump for real. But they there because they need to fucking eat. They gotta get their checks, nigga. So they there just doing what they gotta do.
And that's why a lot of these players are stand out there.
Right, and that's why a lot of them get fired though. That's why he's been firing motherfuckers left and right and hiring motherfuckers.
I'm talking about football players.
Okay,
a lot of them are gonna stand because they got mouths.
Hold on, I'm gonna call because we're
day.
talking about the NFL and we've been going for a long time. We've been talking.
Well, yeah,
about
mouth to feed is always gonna change the situation.
Oh yeah, they got
we're gonna
kids,
call a quick
a new
timeout.
family. They still trying to get their mama. These guys who are not making millions and millions and have it set up, best believe they're not going to protest.
There will not be any without sacrifice. You can't make any.
Correct,
You
but
know what I mean? And
I feel it. But
that's
at the end
what
of
we
the day,
don't want to do. Because I ain't gonna lie, shit. Some sacrificing I don't want to do.
So tell me. So answer this, right? It's your rookie season. You just made it to the NFL. They just made this rule. You're not gonna. You're gonna kneel still.
Put it like this.
Or you're just gonna stay in the locker room and not take the penalty.
Yeah, let's. I'm gonna give you.
You haven't even had a check yet.
Listen, I'm gonna give you two different situations. Okay? If I didn't have a check yet or nothing else, if nothing had happened to me in my life that had to do with a black man being killed or anything, then no, I'm gonna stand because I feel like I haven't been affected from that. But if my cousin or my brother or my sister or my cousin's nephew or somebody like that got killed by a cop or something like that, then I'm probably not going to stand. My stand is going to be different when it affects me personally. You feel me? When it affects me closer.
But you wouldn't just stay in the locker room, get your check, and not worry about shit? Because that's a bigger, in my opinion, that's a bigger thing. You know what I'm saying? It might not be if you're not a big name player, but if, let's say, Julio Jones' first game decides to sit in the locker room. Because that was, that's a rule. You can decide not to come out there. Let's say he sits in the locker room. Let's say a lot of big name players sit in the locker room. That's going to be bigger than, and then you see them running out afterwards, running on the field afterwards to meet up with the team. That's going to be a bigger way to protest than to take the knee on the field, in my opinion. And you're not going to get fined or worried about that shit. They might change that rule. I wouldn't be surprised if
they do. Put it like this, man. The thing about it is that, and I'm sorry, I know you want to wrap it up, but the only thing about it is I think this is what Stephen A. said too earlier, is that when you stay in the hall, when you stay in the hallway,
too many questions.
It takes away from the protest. I don't see a protest now. I just see a nigga missing from the front. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a a lot of times I'm not counting how many niggas is up there. Depending on how many niggas don't come out, but they could be like this and they don't look like nobody missing.
But trust me, if you're that's what I'm saying. The only people who are going to be able to pull that is going to be the big name people if they want to do that. Everyone else, shit. Either you're going to take the knee and the team takes the fine, and then the team could decide if they want to trickle the fine down on you. Or the team would just pay for it.
It's just about who's going to make that sacrifice, that's all. Who's willing to
I want to see what Marshawn's going to do, because he hasn't stood in years.
Hold on.
Marshawn Lynch, he's been sitting for years.
Hold on.
Never been a big deal.
All right, let's get some final thoughts on the matter of the NFL rule change.
It's bullshit. So we all know that. No, that's nothing new.
Okay, that's your final thought. It's bullshit. Rob, what's your final thought?
It's bullshit.
All right. Well, that was in-depth, thrilling conversation with you gentlemen. How you guys feel about it? You guys enjoy that?
Yeah, that was cool, bro.
All right. Well, like always, we want you guys to leave us some comments down below. Let us know what we're doing good, what we're doing bad, what you want us to talk about. What's your Instagram?
KOG. KOGROD. Follow me.
Sure.
Instagram, Twitter.
Oh, hold on.
SOE Cash Cow.
There you go. SOE Cash Cow. Handsome John 35. You know who I am. Once again, this is the Smart Alex. It's a fucking prime time.